right, so guys, the internet and technology and everything is evolving and changing, and things come as quick as they go. The news cycle switches as fast as the motherfucking hours go. So things change very rapidly. And something that happened yesterday was a leak from the Ghost of Hope. Now, you guys know already, the Ghost of Hope is a very credible leaker. He's been leaking for a few years now, and a lot of the things that he says are very accurate. A lot of the things that he leaks end up coming true. And sometimes he gives these leaks months in advance. Sometimes he gives these leaks a year in advance. I mean, with the Modern Warfare 4 Korea stuff, he was on the money with that. He even, the symbol of the Modern Warfare 4 Korea, what it was going to be doing. There has been stuff discovered within the game for Modern Warfare 4 that shows Korean signs. And so he was right on the money with that. So he's also been talking for a little while about Sledgehammer's next game, which is going to be in 2027. Now, yesterday we talked about his December leak. He had another one in July. We're not going to cover that one. But his December leak, which came out yesterday, read this. COD 2027, made by Sledgehammer Games, will be a new sub-franchise with completely new characters set in the late 90s, early 2000s. That is the main thing that we wanted to talk about. And we had a big grand discussion about it yesterday. Now, as soon as this comes out, Charlie Intel comes out with another tweet. This tweet reads as follows. We have heard that Sledgehammer Games' 2027 Call of Duty does not take place during the late 90s, early 2000s, despite some rumors today. And then they go on to say, per the latest reports, it is a new sub-franchise set in the modern era. So that's refuting, right off the bat, the claim that the Ghost of Hope made with his leaks. Now, the Ghost of Hope has gone into detail talking about his leaks and how he's not going to throw away his reputation by giving false information out or by doing inaccurate information that he doesn't double check. He's also stated that he kind of has the same leakers, or the people that leak to him, his sources, have all kind of remained the same throughout the years. Now, some people started suggesting that maybe they found his leaker or they found his source and they got his ass by the throat and they said, you better give him wrong information, motherfucker, so he can get information wrong and we stop looking like fucking idiots. So maybe they did that. Or maybe, in the business of leaking, in the business of trying to get storylines beforehand, and look at me talking like I know anything about the fucking business. I don't know anything, man. But from my point of view, it would be something difficult. It would be something that obviously you're not going to get right every single time. But having this stuff refuted is interesting because it throws a wrench in the plans that we thought we were going to get for the next campaign of Call of Duty. Now, it still seems to be like it's going to be a new sub-franchise. It still seems to be like it's going to tackle new characters and a new thing. So everything that we talked about regarding the campaign and how there's an opportunity for them to do something new, introduce us to a new world, introduce us to new characters, and expand and make the world better, still hold true. It's just that the setting is going to change. We talked about the late 90s and early 2000s being a potential good setting and a good time period for Call of Duty. It's never been done before, and it gives you an insight to tackling some major events that occurred during that time, one of those being 9/11, and you could have your characters or the people around you reacting to the events and how it affected them personally and the heightened, intense feelings of the time. You could do something like that, make it very grounded, make it very realistic, make it very gritty. Now, if we do look at the July leak for the Ghost of Hope, he stated, COD 27 by Sledgehammer Games will not be Advanced Warfare 2. It will be instead set in a completely new sub-franchise set during the modern era. So back in July, the Ghost of Hope said that. He said that it would be a new sub-franchise and it would be set during the modern era. Charlie Intel's leak from yesterday stated that it will not take place in the 90s or the 2000s. It will take place in the modern era and it will be a new sub-franchise. So if anything, this is restating or doubling down on what the original leak was back in July. So I really don't know what's going on. Some people began saying also that Activision had maybe reached out to Charlie Intel to refute these leaks because they did state earlier, and we were going to have a full conversation on this. We might still have a conversation on this. The Ghost of Hope had leaked some stuff saying that Modern Warfare 4 was basically Modern Warfare 2 carbon copy. And Activision came out with a tweet saying, see you guys next year. Don't believe everything that you read on the internet. So it's like they have been going back and forth, but some people believe that this was just some of Charlie Intel sources. He has his own sources, and they have reiterated that it's not going to be 90s and early 2000s, but it's going to be set in the modern era. All right, I just want to jump in here real quick, guys, and say we have a goal to hit 30,000 subscribers before this year ends. So I want to welcome in the new year with 30,000 subscribers and then see what happens after that. So I would be very grateful to you guys if you watch my content, if you like what I do here, if you've been watching me for a while and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please consider doing so we can try to hit our goal of 30K before the year ends. Thank you so much, and let's go ahead and get back to the video. So look, I don't have a problem personally with Call of Duty's next or 2027 game and its campaign being set in the late 90s, early 2000s, just as I don't have a problem with Call of Duty 2027 being set in the modern era, whether that is in the 2020s. I don't mind it one fucking bit because I could do something from back then or I could do something now. Like we talked about before, and we can refresh it a little bit here. If we decide to do something in the modern era, and that's where the campaign is going to be revolved around, some of the same stuff that we talked about will apply. I still want a linear campaign. I still want a short, gritty, strong, emotional story with brand new characters and a new team. I don't want to see 141. I don't want to see anybody from Modern Warfare. I don't want to see anybody from Black Ops. I don't want to see none of that. I want a brand new story in a completely new setting with a completely new conflict and a brand new villain that we've never heard about, a complete original story. I want to play as fucking Marines or Rangers or Delta or SEALs, something. I want to have some big, cool American element to it. I want it to be a very personal story. Okay, that's what we want. And if we do it in the modern era, that's fine by me. Some people believe that if you have Sledgehammer games be set in the modern era, it's just going to be like a Modern Warfare 2.0. It's just going to be Modern Warfare without the title of Modern Warfare. But I don't believe that. There's so much that we can do, so much that could be out there to do, so much to explore that they still haven't done. Call of Duty Modern Warfare is always about Makarov and Price and Ghost and these big conflicts that are going around the world, and it's basically trying to stop World War III from happening, right? Sledgehammer's 2027 game set in the modern era could be a more smaller story about special operations, about maybe a regular soldier doing a regular thing during battle and stumbling upon something and trying to stop a little conspiracy, or doing several missions that involve saving people or getting a certain targets. Like, you could do so much in the modern era. So many different types of missions, so many different types of setups that are linear. Going into abandoned places, abandoned buildings, or infiltrating a very highly classified building to get a certain target. There's so much that you could do, even in the modern era, to separate it from something like Modern Warfare and its big spectacle games. So personally, I think that if you do it right, you could definitely have a new sub-franchise set in the modern era from Sledgehammer Games, and this allows them to go a new direction. This allows them to potentially, if it does well, give us a trilogy of this world, of this new sub-franchise that you're doing. I don't know what that title might be, whether they do end up being the late 90s or early 2000s, or whether they do the modern era and keep it somewhere in the 2020s. I'm behind both of those. I am fine with both of those. They would both be fantastic to me, as long as the freaking campaign is done right, as long as the campaign is taken serious, as long as the campaign is grounded and gritty, and as long as we have brand new characters that move the plot forward, and we have a good villain that doesn't just fucking disappear at the end so they can do some shit for Warzone. That's what we wanted yesterday when we talked about that. That's what we want today. This is a perfect opportunity for Call of Duty to evolve again. This is a perfect opportunity for Call of Duty to go in a new direction for the next 10 years again. Even if it's set in the modern era, you can still do something good and launch something brand new. This next Sledgehammer game could be the beginning of a new sub-franchise that spans multiple games and tells a story that is worth multiple titles. This is big. No matter what time period they choose, no matter what they decide to do, Call of Duty Sledgehammer Games 2027 is a big, big title. And they have a lot of weight on their shoulders, kind of like Call of Duty Ghost did back in 2013. Call of Duty Ghost was what was going to send the franchise into something new. It was going to dive us into this new titles of Call of Duty, with each being different. This is basically that. Call of Duty Sledgehammer Games has a lot of pressure to deliver a very good Call of Duty. And, from what they've done in the past with Advanced Warfare 2, I know so many people dislike Vanguard, but the mission structure for Vanguard was very good. Whether the story was shit or the story should have been done in a different way and tackled differently, okay. But the levels that they decided to do, the mission style, was really fucking cool, and it was very intense. So they have potential to do really cool stuff, and I'm behind that, and I really hope that they can deliver a very good and powerful campaign. The leak that we had yesterday for the campaign and the setting of Call of Duty 2027 might be wrong. We're just gonna have to wait and see.